demonstration from the Sabre Legion Charter of Kansas, and Manhattan Magazine recently had their release party. We'll tell you more about what the publication means to the students involved. Also, reporter Bree Smith is live at T. Russell Animal Shelter with some animals. She'll tell us more about what the new partnership between the K-State School of Vet and the shelter is all about. All of this and more coming up. This is MHK All Day. Good morning and welcome to MHK All Day. I'm Bridget Howard. Thanks for joining us today. Kansas State wide receiver Hunter Rison is out on bond as of yesterday after being arrested on one count of domestic battery on Friday. Rison will appear in Riley County District Court on Wednesday, May 1st. In response to the arrest, head football coach Chris Kleiman released a brief statement announcing that Rison had been indefinitely suspended for violation of team and departmental policy. Following his arrest, Rison released a statement on Twitter saying, "This will be my only response. I will continue to be myself, a man of God, as well as a great student athlete at this university. I have done nothing wrong." Proverbs 2:11. You may have noticed some smoky skies around Manhattan lately. That's because of the field burnings of the Konza Prairie, a natural system that has been in place for more than 40 years. Fire is a natural process that is essential to the health of forests and prairies alike. In eastern Kansas, there's enough rainfall that without controlled burns, in 35 to 40 years, we could go from a grassland to a forest. Recently, the KSU Star Wars Club took a trip to Chicago to attend the 13th annual Star Wars celebration. The students joined over 120,000 attendees inside the convention hall. The group was able to get a first-hand look at new Star Wars media, merchandise, and was even able to meet some of their favorite Star Wars characters. For more information about KSU Star Wars Club, find them on Twitter at KSU Star Wars. The K-State Muslim Student Association and the Union Program Council teamed up last Thursday to put on Hijab Day in the KSU Student Union. MHK All Day's Dylan Lierz talked to organizers about the significance of an event on the K-State campus.
Hijab Day, an event planned on the basis of raising awareness and breaking down Islamic stereotypes, took over the Student Union last Thursday.
So the main goal of the main part of the event is to kind of interact with the students and communities, because there is like a lot of misconception about like what a lot of people don't know what hijab is.
Also, it's just sort of to have people aware that there's this population at K-State that's sort of diverse, and we want people to like have that diverse perspective and know about that population. It's just people trying to step out of their comfort zone and like view events from a different perspective that they may not have considered before. Events like these have like a humanizing factor where it shows people that like people from different cultures, they may have different beliefs, but like at the end of the day, we're all human.
Hijab Day allows for busy K-State students to interact with those they normally would not.
We all are students here, so we might not get a chance to interact. Sometimes people feel like it's rude to us to come up to you to ask your question, but if they have this kind of chance presented for them, it will be easier for them to come up and just ask us a question. For the most part, like K-States are very open-minded. We are here because everyone's a college student. They know what's right, what's wrong, but for us, the goal is not to just teach why we wear stuff like that, but for them to allow us a question. We are not forcing upon people. We are allowing them to ask us a question.
For those wanting to get involved here at K-State,
there are a lot of different multicultural initiatives at K-State, and I would encourage them to even if you're not involved with K-State, come out and be a part of those events.
In Manhattan, Dylan Lierz, MHK All Day.
Hijab Day wrapped up with a guest lecture titled Islamophobia in America in the Union's Bluemont Room. Now we're sending it live to reporter Bree Smith, who is at a local animal shelter. Bree?
Good. Right. Yeah. Being understaffed is...
Thanks, Bridget. I'm here live at T. Russell Animal Shelter in Manhattan with Hannah, the volunteer coordinator, and Miss Frida. And we are going to talk a little bit about the K-State partnership with T. Russell, but earlier this week I took a deeper look into it.
The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine and the local T. Russell Animal Shelter have teamed up to provide discounted and free care for the critters here in Manhattan. Jason Banning, a shelter medicine intern, is excited for the partnership because of how it will benefit K-State students.
We get a huge benefit because the students, a lot of students come out of vet school with maybe 3 or 4 or 5 surgeries total, and they're leaving this program with maybe 40 to 50 to 60 surgeries.
K-State veterinary medicine students, along with staff, visit the shelter at least once a week in a mobile surgery center to perform minor surgeries such as spays and neuters on animals left at the shelter. The partnership began months ago, and even though it's still in the developmental phase, Dr. Brad Crowder with K-State says the shelter already sees the benefits.
So I think it's an environment that we can really develop that relationship, and I think that relationship has a real chance to blossom and be something that the rest of the country looks at and says, look at what they're doing in Manhattan, look at how Kansas State has helped that local shelter and how both have benefited from that partnership.
The director of T. Russell is a former veterinary teacher, and she says the work the university is doing for her four-legged friends hits close to her heart.
The shelter world has come a long way in shelter welfare, and I think that it's really important for the people in Manhattan to realize the good things that we're doing here, and so you know, we're just able to do so much more, and having Kansas State University here doing the veterinary medicine part and treating these animals, we're just going to be able to save more lives.
Banning hopes his team can be efficient in the work they do at the shelter and help every animal find a forever home.
My favorite part is when I come back a different day and see a dog or cat that I've spayed or neutered previously getting adopted. For me, that's a really big deal because it's just a surgery I did that's making an impact in some family's life. And for me, that's kind of why I'm doing it.
Oh. Now. Hi, I am here with Hannah and Miss Rudy.
Rudy, yes.
Is it a girl?
A boy.
A boy, Miss
Rudy.
And so, Hannah, can you tell us a little bit about the adoption process here and kind of what you guys do for these animals?
Yeah, absolutely. So our adoption process is pretty simple. We have a lot of animals that are available. You can come look at them, see if there's somebody that you're interested in, and do a visitation with them. Once you do that visitation, if you're interested in taking that animal home, you fill out a little profile so that we know a little bit more about you and your lifestyle, and then we make sure that it's a good match between you and the pet you want to take home. And then the actual process takes about 15-20 minutes to do the adoption and make the payment for the adoption fee, and then you take them home same day.
Okay, cool. And so you told me that you're going to have a new program coming out. And can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, so we are getting ready to launch a foster program, which is going to be really great, especially because we are coming up on kitten season. So a lot of little kittens like Rudy here, when they come in, they're not old enough to be adopted yet. So they need to grow up, finish growing up, get big enough so that they can go and have their surgery to get spayed and neutered, get all their vaccines, and then they'll go out on the adoption floor after that. So this is going to help us a lot during kitten season.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Hannah. And thank you, Rudy. Live in Manhattan, Brienne Smith, MHK all day.
Stay tuned, because coming up after the break, we have a demonstration from the Kansas Charter of the Sabre Legion.
Welcome to K-State. We're so excited all of you came to visit us here on campus. We're going to be starting our tour here in front of Anderson Hall, which is our administrative building and kind of our iconic building on campus. It houses our president's office and our vice president for student life. All right, let's get started. We're going to be going to the Union Net. It houses our pool.
H1 minus H2 plus V1 squared minus V2 squared all over 2. Fans, are you ready?
I email my professors, I get an answer. They're participating in the discussion boards. You just feel really connected, and that was a unique experience for me. I'm not new to distance programs. I'm a military wife. Been to 6 different colleges in 4 different states. So I've definitely taken some online classes, and K-State does it very differently. And they pull it off beautifully. I don't know how, but I'm just glad.
I had taken online classes before, but Kansas State was really great because it was so organized, and like all the teachers and professors were so helpful, and they just went beyond to help me to get the degree that I was looking for.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Donut Run. With me today I have Chase Brocky, Mitch McKinley, and Garrett Kuhn. Guys, thanks for being here. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
So you guys want to kind of explain your position within the club, kind of in terms of like now and when it got started?
Sure, if you want to start.
Alright, so I'm the president for another month or so.
Yeah.
I'm vice president for about a month or so. Mitch and I were the co-founders originally. And I am whatever I need to be at the time. Originally, it was the risk manager. Isn't that what OrgSync gave me?
Yeah.
And I kind of just became like the second vice president.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about just kind of what it was like just starting the club and kind of like where everything began, how everything started.
Right when we came to K-State, I googled like K-State Star Wars to see if there was anything like this that K-State already had. The only thing that came up was one result for one of the librarians here on campus, Charlene Simpson, and she had published a couple Star Wars books, Star Wars novels, and so I knew she was a big fan, and she was like right behind us in line at Rogue One, and so we were talking to her a little bit, and Mick was there as well. And we asked, all right, maybe she said, or did you say that we should start a club together?
She said, well, at that point in time, you needed an advisor to start a student organization before the whole DSL ISO shift.
Yeah.
So she said, like, oh, well, I'd love to be, like, your person to help enable this and, like, go with it. It was, like, super cool at the time. We were a little preoccupied because we went and saw Rogue One. That was at the premiere. But afterwards, we were like, oh, like, let's actually do this. Like, let's go for it.
So what has it kind of just been like to, I guess, kind of just be a part of this club as it's been created and kind of watched it grow?
It's been very interesting from where we were 2 years ago when we first came together for our first meeting to now. Is being honest, we were very stiff at the start, and like people came in, like the first day people came in, we were super surprised, like, oh, people are actually going to be here, and it felt like very, not quite formal, but we were really nervous. We didn't really know how to go about it and do it in a good way. And just kind of slowly over the 2 years, we've gotten more people. Everyone's gotten more comfortable with each other, and like it's become a very much more fluid, relaxed, and enjoyable experience compared to some of the stiffer meetings at the start. But I think that's been our biggest shift. Like even before I had heard about this, I was like, I should really start a Star Wars club. There's a lot of people. Like I feel like I could get this down, but I didn't have anyone that wanted to do it with me. I didn't have like a faculty member at the time that I knew. So when I saw in my dorm, just on the notice board, it was like Star Wars club. I'm like, what? So I went there and we played. I think the most overwhelming thing, and it was a good thing, was we played trivia that night. Mm-hmm. And I had never been in the same room with like as many people that knew as much about Star Wars as I did, because I lost that trivia. I came in like second, Tristan won, and I was like, this is amazing. Being around people that love the same thing you love as much as you love it was just the greatest thing for me. And like Mitch said, it's probably one of my highlights of college is just being a part of this club.
Yeah.
So when we started, it really was like, hey, like we can talk about Star Wars. We want to meet other people and like talk about that like once every other week. And like actually formed a lot around Star Wars. But like I like to say now, like it's really, we are still a Star Wars club, but it's turned into so much more. It's kind of turned into a place where now once a week, all these people come together and just hang out and have a good time. Like a lot of what we do is Star Wars based, but it's really just us being there with each other and like a closer knit community coming together and really giving a lot more meaning to some time we have here. I mean, we all take tough classes. We're all from different parts of the university doing different things, but in fact, every Wednesday night we come together and just leave it all behind to just enjoy each other for 2 hours and just have a good time with it. Like it's really good.
This
Last week? Okay, well, we
Think you've got someone who deserves to be on an episode of Donut Run? Tweet us at MHK All Day to suggest Manhattan and K-State community members that you think deserve a spot on the show. Moving off the K-State campus and into the Manhattan and Greater Kansas community, I'd like to introduce Robert Shigeru, the charter representative for Sabre Legion Kansas. Robert, can you tell us a little bit about what Sabre Legion is?
Right, so the Sabre Legion is an organization dedicated to combat with these LED lightsaber type or saber type implements as a competitive sport. Mm-hmm. So it is an organization that brings a whole bunch of different people of all sorts of martial backgrounds, from whether it's traditional Japanese kendo to Olympic fencing to historical European martial arts, all together in this one unique media, and while also enjoying our mutual appreciation of the Star Wars overarching universe.
Okay. And can you tell me a little bit about just the Manhattan community behind it and how it's starting to come together and what you guys do on a basis?
Right. So I've been running meets here in Manhattan for about 4 years now, off and on. I've been the representative that entire time. We try to get, at least on a monthly or every 2 weeks basis, different people who enjoy the sport and Star Wars in general and the collection of these LED sabers, mm-hmm. to practice the martial techniques, to spar, to hang out, or whatever it may be.
Okay. And can you tell me when you guys meet or how often you guys meet?
About once a month, typically. We're hoping to try and get it to every other week if we can get enough people to participate. But right now, it's usually at about 5 o'clock on Sundays, usually towards the end of every month.
Okay. And can you tell me a little bit about what you guys do at a typical meeting?
We usually go over a review of the rules. We'll check on equipment of people if they've upgraded their gear, basic safety gear that is required for the sport. We go over a little bit of the techniques and tweak individual techniques after we do a little bit of drill and training, and then we spar for a good chunk of the meeting.
All right. Well, I think we're all about ready to see a little bit of a demonstration. So if you guys will get ready, I think we're ready to set up.
All right, certainly.
Awesome.
All right. So for basic scoring rules in Sabre Legion, the ultimate objective is to try and score a touch against the opponent's body before he can score a touch against you. There are certain rules in terms of targeting areas. For instance, I can't do thrusting attacks to the abdomen because of a lack of protection there. I'm also not allowed to do thrusts to the throat. However, lateral blows to pretty much anywhere across the body are legal target zones. The hands do not count as targets from the knuckles forward, but if I'm striking him to the wrist or anywhere further back, that counts as a point. The weapon itself is also not a legal target, so you can receive a blow to the lightsaber and it still will not be counted as a legal strike. If the instance of two blows coming at one another at the exact same time, there's usually a judge that'll determine either whether or not it was a simultaneous blow and the point will be refought, or if one just comes a little bit faster than the other one and it's perceivable as such, that'll go towards the faster fighter.
Robert, Travis, guys, thank you very much for coming in. That was really, really cool. I'm glad you guys got to come in. And we'll be right back after this short break.
Left side three ball. Yes. Throws it down. Wow. Oh my goodness, Steve. Way up above the rim and a block. Derek Brown taking on Gildas Alexander. And he scores. Are you kidding? Kansas State is headed to the Elite Eight.
Your identity is who you are.
Feels pretty good. Hurts a little bit when I'm putting pressure on it, but not too bad.
What's your pain level at?
Probably like a 3.
Okay, cool. So much better than yesterday.
Yeah, a lot better.
All right.
I'm going to start to slow it down now. Okay.
In taking the classes and in being in industry, a lot of the classes were super applicable to going out in the industry. So it's things that are actually being taught in the real world and what are needed in the real world. There were a number of classes that you could take exactly what you learned and walk into a job and say, I've done this, and this is exactly how they're doing it, and the company should feel comfortable that you know what you're talking about. It's really tangible to what you're going to do once you graduate. So that's been the best part, I'd say.
The best-kept secret in Manhattan is not a secret anymore. I'm Wyatt Thompson, the voice of the Wildcats, and welcome to JP's Sports Grill. With daily chef-inspired specials, a full bar, and a diverse menu that has something for everyone, this place is guaranteed to impress. JP Sports Grill, your new favorite spot.
Welcome back. Now let's send it over to our sports reporters for this week's sports update.
Thanks, Bridget. The NFL draft is now in full swing, and Adam Meyer and I have the first-round picks covered for you.
Unsurprisingly, Oklahoma quarterback Kyler Murray was picked first by the Arizona Cardinals. With the second pick, the San Francisco 49ers chose defensive end Nick Bosa from Ohio State. Third overall pick went to New York Jets with Quinnen Williams, a defensive tackle out of Alabama. Clemson defensive end Clelin Ferrell was chosen by the fourth pick of the Oakland Raiders. Fifth pick by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers went to linebacker Kevin White from Louisiana State University.
Perhaps the most surprising pick in the first round is Duke quarterback Daniel Jones, clocking in at number 6. Josh Allen got the nod for the 7th pick as Jacksonville went on for the offensive linebacker from Kentucky. Detroit gave Matthew Stafford a dangerous weapon by selecting tight end T.J. Hawkinson from Iowa. Buffalo stole defensive tackle Ed Oliver from Houston University later in the draft than expected, snagging him with the 9th pick. Finally, for our top 10, we have Michigan linebacker Devin Bush, who the Pittsburgh Steelers drafted after trading picks with the Denver Broncos. Daniel Jones was actually projected to be the 59th pick of the draft, but the New York Giants found someone to take the reins from Eli Manning. Jones also has previous connections to the Manning family as he played at Duke under coach David Cutcliffe, who coached Eli Manning at Ole Miss and Peyton Manning at Tennessee.
Two draft prospects that haven't been picked yet are Kansas State linemen Dalton Reisner and running back Alex Barnes. Reisner, a right tackle, should expect his name to be announced today in round 2 after he was not selected yesterday as he came into the draft with round 1 or 2 expectations. Reisner went into this year's college football season with All-American honors and performed to a level that, with a tremendous senior season, which is a big reason why his draft prospects are so high. Not only is Reisner known for his production on the field as a right tackle, but he is also known for his leadership on the field and in the locker room, which is something that should entice NFL teams.
Now, Barnes is a projected round 5 draft pick, but with how good and strong of a running back he is, it is very possible he hears his name announced before then. Barnes tore it up at the NFL Combine, which certainly helped his draft status and could land him a selection in the 3rd or 4th round. We're going to go ahead and send it back to Bridget at the desk.
Thanks, guys. Stay tuned because after the break, we talk about the latest edition of the Manhattan magazine.
TV and live on Facebook.
And you can actually see it.
Another three-pointer. It's good!
Oh, it's been like the best adventure of my life. Best, hands down. Don't tell my children I said that, but absolutely the best thing ever. I've had so much fun. I've learned so much, and I think the thing that I love most about this program, the expectations are just like that of a regular full-time program. There's discussions, there's discussion board posts, there's interaction with the instructors, just like you would have if you were on campus. I love it.
Hey Zach, did you go to the Manhattan Magazine release party last Thursday?
I did, and it was actually really fun. A little bit crowded, but still just a lot of fun to see all those people. It was also really amazing to just get to see all of those students and all of the amazing work that they had done for the magazine.
It's been so cool to see the magazine, come to fruition, and it's been such a big hit the last few years, and I actually caught up with some of the staff from the Manhattan Magazine to hear about their latest issue, but also about how it's helping them in their careers. The Manhattan Magazine is K-State's lifestyle magazine that was created by Emily Lank. Her purpose for creating the magazine was to offer another avenue for students to get involved in a unique way on campus and display their talents.
My main goal when I created Manhattan Magazine was to showcase all the amazing talent and creativity that we have here at K-State, because I feel like sometimes we don't focus on it enough. So I feel like that this magazine, not only does it showcase the amazing talent and the culture and the creativity that we have here at a university, but it's giving these students an opportunity to get real-life experience. So as they move forward in their career, they're ready for it.
Maya Robke, a sophomore in marketing and public relations at K-State, is a writer for the Manhattan. She said that although she's only worked for the magazine for one semester, she has learned a lot of skills that will help her in her future career.
Graphic design is something that I don't have any experience with, and that was something that I got to experience and learn more about, which is huge for a marketing career. Just learning from the designers on the team and seeing how our spreads come together was really beneficial.
The Manhattan Magazine has had lots of success since its inception in 2016 and has even won awards at the national level. Lank said these achievements validate the quality of work that her staff is producing.
To be nationally awarded, I think just shows us that what we're doing does matter. We're not just doing this for kicks and giggles. We're doing this. Our designers are pulling all-nighters because they're creating work they know is unique, they know is amazing, and is going to stand out to people in the real world, and they're getting that experience.
The creation of this publication has opened doors for many students and has also been an example of how they can create opportunities for themselves at K-State.
Emily started this by herself, so to me it just shows how if you put enough work into something here, you have the opportunity to just blow it up. Almost everybody at K-State knows what Manhattan is or has seen the magazine. That just really inspired me to if you want whatever you want to do here, you can, if you put enough work into it, you can make it happen.
That's all we have for this week. Thanks for tuning in.